Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
Welcome to Simply Stogies Presents Cigars and Coffee, episode 30-something, 40-something, I'm not even sure. Time travel's hard. I am here today at David's Fine Tobaccos, 9759 University Avenue, Clive, Iowa. West Des Moines is literally across the street. Can't miss it. When you're in the Des Moines area, this is the spot to go. So we're going to jump right into it today. I'm smoking this little guy, the La Crema, from Crown Heads. And I'm pairing it with something a little bit different today. But before I tell you what I'm pairing it with, I'll go ahead and cut the cigar, and I'll remind you to go to oxfordcigarcompany.com and use coupon code SimplyStogies. You'll get 15% off your entire purchase. Doesn't matter what you purchase, 15% off. Only oxfordcigarcompany.com. Coupon code SimplyStogies. So we're right in the heart of Christmas season, about 2 weeks before Christmas. Things are bustling. The lounge is busy this morning. It's always fun when I walk into a lounge and they're packed. I love it. To the coffee. Very special. This was a special request by one of our limited edition club members, Chris Hansen. This is Disturbed's Get Up coffee that I'm drinking today. I like Disturbed, but will I like their coffee?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a jugular every single time.
It's a dark roast, and I'm going to read right from your website because I'll screw it up. So it's the Get Up Dark Java blend. Coffee's from the Indonesian island of Java, located between Sumatra and Bali. It's $22. It's not the cheapest coffee. It's probably not the best coffee either, but it's not bad. It's a dark roast, so it's rich. Dark chocolate. There's a little sweetness on the finish. Nutty. I dig it. I dig it. Before I light this, La Crema. Sweet tobacco.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And actually, I think this is going to pair well with the coffee. So I'm looking forward to it. I am a little out of it this morning. I have just been running to get here as soon as I can. I have a podcast interview here later today, which by the time this airs, I think it'll be out already. It will release, the one I'm recording today will release on the 1st. It's a little bit of a tight draw. Pepper on the retrohale.
Well, we should also look at Whistler for
nuts, leather. Very good.
Because I choose life.
So we'll go ahead. We'll keep smoking this.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know what I think in just a minute. So I'm just getting into this La Careme from Crown Heads. The Cosacos size, which is the smaller size. This is a 5 and 3, 5.37 inches by 42. Even that seems like it's off. I don't think that's right. 42 ring gauge. Maybe I'm just used to smoking Toros, so I'm like, this just seems super small. Connecticut broadleaf with a Ecuadorian Sumatra binder. I love Sumatra, so I'm tasting that a lot. And Nicaraguan fillers. I'm really liking this so far, and it's pairing well with this coffee. Now, Connecticut broadleaf is usually pretty strong for me, but this doesn't seem to be. Now, the burn line is not the best.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. That's so
And I think I'm going to have to touch it up, which doesn't bode well for this cigar, but I do like the profile. It's not overly strong, not overly peppery, especially for Connecticut broadleaf. It's not bad for a first cigar of the day, especially after I've been driving. And it actually, with the dark roast Java blend here, the Disturbed Get Up by Dead Sled Coffee, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Chocolate cashews. Leather. There's a little sweetness that lingers on my palate still. So far, so good. Did have to touch it up. I'll keep going. When I'm in the second, third, I'll come back and let you know what I'm thinking. So I am getting through this Careme from Crown Heads. And I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. So the burn line's been pretty steady since I touched it up. But it goes very well with this Get Up Disturbed Coffee by Dead Sled. There's a sweetness to this La Careme that brings out the sweetness in the coffee that I don't normally get. I've been drinking this coffee for about a week now, to kind of figure out what I'm tasting and where to score it, because I don't want to just score it off of one cup, product testing. That's what we do here at Simply Stogies. But it's a great pairing. Like I wasn't sure what to pair with, and to be 100% honest, 100% transparent, I don't have a lot of time this morning before I have the podcast interview later on to smoke a cigar. So I wanted to smoke this and then something small and give me a chance to set up everything else. But this is, I would call it medium. I don't think it's medium full. It's very mellow. It's very, very smooth. And for a Connecticut broadleaf, so far my lone complaint is it's pretty one note, but it's a small cigar. And typically when you go with a larger cigar or even a smaller cigar on either end of those spectrums, it can typically sometimes just be one note all the way throughout. But this is a short cigar, and it's winter, and it's the perfect time to smoke a short cigar. And this one is quickly becoming something I'm going to have to buy more of before I leave. So I will continue to smoke this, and I'll be back with my thoughts on the final third, tasting notes overall, tasting notes on the coffee, and my review of both the Crown Heads La Careme and the Disturbed Get Up Coffee by Dead Sled. Getting down here to the very end, a little bit of a construction issue there. The wrapper's starting to come undone. If I pull it, it'll come off, but we won't do that. I think the La Careme is a great dog walking stick or a short cigar in the winter. Medium bodied, full flavored, so medium strength, lots of flavor. Typical Connecticut broadleaf flavor, but that Sumatra wrapper, or that Sumatra binder, really smooths things out. So I would definitely recommend picking one of these up, and it pairs very well with this Dead Sled Disturbed Get Up dark roast coffee. And for me, this is a revelation, because typically I like a mild to medium cigar in the morning with coffee. I think that pairs very well. And I don't have to worry about how it's going to affect the flavor either way, because the medium cigar, and I can take it to a medium roast or even a dark roast, sometimes a light roast, depending on my mood. But this pairs great. This is probably, hands down, the best pairing I've ever done. Completely on accident, because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to pairing. I can smoke and drink something at the same time, but whether it pairs well is pretty subjective. But I think this is a fantastic pairing. But for $22 for a bag of whole bean, Disturbed Get Up dark roast from Dead Sled Coffee, it's pretty expensive. So when I start talking about the value of it, I'm not sure the value's there. It's a very good cup of coffee. It's a strong cup of coffee. I'll give you some tasting notes here. A little bit of dark chocolate. It's not overly bitter, which is surprising because it's a dark roast. There's a little sweetness in there that's just absolutely brought out by this cigar. So if I was going to rate the coffee, the Dead Sled Disturbed Get Up Dark Roast, I'm going to give it an 8.8. It's a very good cup of coffee. It is a solid cup of coffee. Is it as good as Janus Coffee Roasters? It might be, but it's just so expensive for one bag. $22, and you've got to pay the shipping. So when you add the value in there, it's an 8.8, but it's still a very good cup of coffee. And I'm kind of surprised because when you look at Dead Sled, though, they do a lot with musicians. Music seems to be a big part of what they do, so good on them. Pairing with these musicians and getting them on board with their coffee. So check them out, Dead Sled. As for the cigar, it's a very good cigar. And honestly, it's probably a 45-minute smoke. It's not. It's a good dog walking stick or a good short smoke in the winter. Is it as good? And this is the litmus test. This is kind of like the Papa Fritas from Drew Estate. Like it or hate it, I think it's a very good short smoke. And so when I'm doing a short cigar, I kind of compare it to that. I think the Papa Fritas is more on the full end of the spectrum. This is definitely on the medium side. And I like that. I like that a lot. And it's crown heads. And I like a lot of the things that John Hooper does. I think John does a great job with what he's doing with crown heads. And the La Careme is no different. Dark chocolate. There's a sweetness, like almost like cherries. Nuts. Baking spices. There was leather to begin with. That kind of faded. The construction kind of gives me pause. But it's a short cigar. White pepper now on the retrohale, which is surprising because it's a Connecticut broadleaf. And I'm getting to the end of it. I am kind of surprised that it's that smooth. But it is very, very smooth. So because of the construction issues, and it's not an overly priced cigar, especially for the size, the Cosacos, which I think is a limited edition. So if you can get your hands on these, and you live in the cold climate like I do here in the Midwest, this is a great cigar. I'm going to go 8.95. It's very close to a 9. If it didn't have the construction issues, it'd probably be a 9, close to a 9.1. But with the having to retouch it or touch it up, no relights, but I did have to touch it up. And with the wrapper starting to come apart, which is not affecting how I'm smoking it at all. I won't have to touch it up as I finish it. 8.9, I think that's a fair score. So there you go. 8.8 for the Dead Sled Get Up Disturbed Coffee. $22 a bag. And the Cosacos, La Careme Cosacos, 8.9. So there you go. So I hope you've all had a great new year, great holiday season. I think we're all past that now by the time this comes out, or we're just getting past it. So thank you so much for joining me. Join Tim next week as he smokes a cigar, reviews some coffee, and has some fun. Make sure you check out our website, simplystogies.com, for the latest in product reviews, cigar reviews, and the podcast. And we're still looking for staff writers. So if you're interested in becoming a staff writer, email us at info@simplystogies.com. Let us know. And we'll have a conversation. Until next time, friends, stay smoky.